Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Those of you who've been here before, you'll see different setup. I've got a few new toys to try out. Still moving things around to try and get the best setup for you guys. But we're back with Norwich today. Things are going pretty well. I'll see you down there in just a second. Right then, guys, here we go. So, as I mentioned, we'll have a little quick glance, but things are going pretty well. Last time out was that win against Watford, wasn't it? 4-1. Sort of pretty good start to the season. We looked really good going forward. Bumped down to earth with a 1-0 loss to Villa. Conceded after 6 minutes, and then just oddly after that game that we showed, couldn't find a way through. Bit of a strange one. Got our revenge to a degree. Beat him in a penalty shootout. 4 days later in the Carabao. And from then, like you can see, it's pretty good. 3-2 against West Ham. Again, really good in front of goal. Rashika scoring the 2 late on to get us the win. 0-0 against Leicester, a bit disappointing. It was similar to the Villa game, actually, that one. Battered Tottenham 5-1. Absolutely blew them away. Liverpool lost 3-0. Similar to previous seasons, we just couldn't cope with them. The first conceded after 4 minutes. Game's gone from there, isn't it? Really. Too much quality. Got one better against Leicester. We sort of got a bit of revenge. We drew 0-0, but it's another decent team to put out of the Carabao in the fourth round. We've made good progress there. West Brom 2-1. I wanted it to be a little bit more, but we did dominate the game. Just took us a little while to get going. And they scored one late on with 10 men. Lapse of concentration, really. But we dominated the game, worthy of the win. Now, this is an interesting one because 5-2, you think, oh, well, you've been battered. I think we should have won the game, actually. I don't think that counts, really. It's a shame that he's still involved. Not much I can do without restarting, obviously. And you can see sort of 2 of their goals are late on, which, it was 3-2. But we really, really went toe-to-toe with them, which was really pleasing. So 5-2 is really harsh on us. We could have won that game. We really could. And then a 1-0 against Southampton, which again was solid, should have been more. All I would say is that a little bit inconsistent in terms of goal scoring. You can see there's a couple of times where we've just maybe struggled to find the flow in football that we've been playing in these other games. 4-1 Watford, 5-1 against Tottenham. That was we just blitzed them. We were from start to finish. We scored in the 3rd and the 93rd minute, so all the way through. I wanted to go on a little bit further, but I thought this is a good one to come back with Brentford because they've been a little bit of a bogey side for us. I think at least last season, I think we draw with them twice and lost once in a cup or something like that. In my head as a bit of a bogey team. I don't think there's any squad news. Let me just double check because my memory's not great. Yes, sorry, Franca, and I think we missed him for the United game. He picked up a knock. Luckily, it was just before it was the United game. I remember these things. He got injured in the United game and he was out for sort of 4 or 5, 6 weeks, something like that. But that was luckily just before the international break, so that entered into it, and he's come back after 3 weeks. So he's not quite fit, but he is back. But we did miss him in the Southampton game. We did miss that sort of creativity, those late runs, etc., etc. Where does that leave us? Well, we're in 8th, but we've got games in hand of all but Chelsea above us, and we're on the same points as Chelsea. So we'll have a little bit of a closer look. Tottenham a point behind us, but we've got 2 games in hand on them. And we can fly up the table. Our only losses, we lost to Villa, but our only losses since the last time we were on, Liverpool and Man United, which, again, to be expected. But, as I say, I don't think we should have lost that United game. So we can really push into these positions. Bournemouth are up there, flying. There's a few higgledy-piggledy things, like Villa down here, Newcastle down here, even with all the money. What's going on with them? Who's Steve Agnew? Why is he their manager? Right. Okay. That's odd. You'd think that maybe a few seasons in with all that money they'd have a bigger name there now, but alright, whatever. No concern of mine. So yeah, we'll go into this Brentford game. Let's see if we can sort of undo that hoodoo. They're down in 17th. So I'm expecting a win. We do need to be winning this sort of game. So don't think there's anything to change here. Usual back 4 that you're used to. Max Aarons, Lucas, Garcia Kalulu, of course, Mantle in goal. Matuidi and Rakic have been the two sort of energy engines, something runners in the midfield, and Puig falls into that sort of creative slot. He's not the same as Franker, obviously. He can't do those sort of bombing on. But he does like the advanced playmaker, and that still works, sort of sitting in these pockets and dictating. And he has shown a few flashes of when he first started with us. Obviously, he's not quite kicked on as we wanted him to, but there's still plenty of time. Cantwell and Brooks. Cantwell's been in decent goal scoring form. Brooks has had a bit of a moan about his playing time, but he's got to play better. But he's been okay, and he fits this shape the best. So we'll pop him back in there, and then Ramos, who, to be fair, I think he struggled for goals, but he has been playing okay. And four. Yeah, it's like 4 in 12. It's not too bad. But his all-round play is I'm happy with it. He's just not quite as clinical as I'd like him to be. So let's head on in to that game against Brentford. Right then, guys, here we go. As you can see, they're not in great form, as you'd expect for a team down in 17th. One thing I did forget to mention, there's been a bit of like a hit to dressing room morale for some reason. I mean, we're doing really well. And I'm even getting asked about it in team talks and stuff. So I'm hoping we'll win a couple of games and it'll all sort of go away. I don't know where it's come from really. So we need to gel a little bit more. Whilst we wait for him to walk out. If you're enjoying the series so far, guys, as always, drop us a like, hit subscribe, check out the other series on the channel as well. But for now, let's get back into this game. So, is there going to be anything happen in this sort of first highlight? Doesn't look like it. Kalulu hacks it clear, and that will be that. So as you can see, look, yeah, there's a couple of people: Cantwell, Brooks, Puig, Garcia. Well, I don't know what that red face. It looks like it's a bad face, but it also looks like he's smiling. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with Garcia. KG start. Nothing really happened in the first 15 minutes. We've had a couple of shots though. But I'd expect us to take the game to Brentford and try and win it. We've had most of the lion's share of the ball, 57 down to 54%. 26 minutes though and nothing's happened, which isn't like us. We at least create chances. Here we go then. Can we break? Ramos in a good pocket of space here. Here's Cantwell. Here's Puig. Ah, that's a lovely ball. Come on out and get it in. Back to Cantwell. Oh, he's tried the bend. Set it too far outside that post. That's a good attack. Need a little bit more though. Trippier's at Brentford now. Okay. Oh, lovely ball. 1-2, just a bit heavy. Come on, boys. Bit more quality. Certainly the better team so far. Kalulu bombing forward, puts a great ball in. Cantwell couldn't quite get it to Matuidi, but here we go again. No runs being made into Racic. Scored a couple of good goals for us, to be fair. Lovely ball in. Should score. Oh dear. I don't quite know how Cantwell's missed that then. He had most of the goal to aim for. He's put it wide of the mark. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite us. Trippier with a good ball in. Well away. Come on, boys. They're in a bit of a spell here. That's poor. I was going to say something else, but it's just not very good. Here we go. Getting more and more comfortable with sort of playing out from the back and moving the ball through the different areas of the pitch. Ah, lovely from Puig. Racic making that late run. Oh, it's a beautiful finish as well. Well done, Ross. Lovely stuff. Ricky Puig showing why he's in the team a little bit there. Well, he's in the team because Frank is injured, but why I bought him in the first place. Lovely ball. Racic with a great run, and he's turned out with a few goals for us, as I say. A couple of good ones as well. Lovely finish. Really composed. Slotted it in that near post. And, yeah, deserved lead. Good stuff. I mean, look at this. Dominating. 8 shots, 3 on target. 2 to none on their part. It only takes 1. Moving it into our box. Come on, boys. Get a bit tighter. Don't let him have room. That's a good ball. And from nothing, as I just said, it only takes 1. It's a good cross from Trippier, isn't it? But I mean, Mbueno's in loads of room. I don't quite know what's happened to the marking there. Aaron's just gets sucked in and doesn't go back out with him. Okay, well, that's not what we wanted. Just before half time as well. Brooks, can we get one back? Oh, into Kalulu. Lucas! Yes! Come on, boys. That's his first of the season. Back in front. Dare you score against us, Brentford? How dare. It's a lovely delivery. Kalulu did well to get a shot on target. It's a great save, to be fair. But Lucas was there quickest. Kept it down, slotted it into the empty net, and we are back in front. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. I mean, I don't quite know what to expect from the season because we've started so well and there's such quality. I think like we look good, especially going forward. Tweedy into Puig, quick feet, and Ramos snapshot gets the corner. I mean, we're still going. I assumed it would just drift out to half time, but Lucas whips it. Oh, he really whips it. And again, Rakic can't quite head it. Okay, well that's half time. A good half. Good half. Shame to concede the goal, but it came from nowhere really. I mean, look at this: 12-7, XG 2, 55% possession. Stats-wise, we're playing really well, and I think, to be fair, looking at the highlights and stuff, we've dominated, haven't we? No changes, I don't think, at this point. We've got options if we need to change it, but that's all good. Here we go then, second half. I was thinking, because obviously this is December, I'm thinking, like, guys, as well, you know, as we approach January, good ball in, you know, what do we need? I mean, we haven't got a lot of money, about 5 million left in the bank, so I'm not really intending on doing like a lot of business. It may well be trying to pick some, you know, always trying to pick some youngsters up and stuff for the future, you know, next season or two. But like positionally, I think we're pretty well set. We've got pretty much a decent cover for every position and different options if we want to change things up. Here are Brentford posing a threat early in the second half. Yeah, maybe a left back. I think Giannoulis wants out. There's a couple of players that want to go, so we'll see. But I think like until the summer, there's probably not a huge amount of work to do, and even that'll be exciting if we can carry on the form. You'd hope for a decent amount of money. And we're just looking at improving the squad then, rather than having to like put out fires with shortages in positions and stuff like that. So it's a really good position to be in. I think we've kicked on faster than I thought we would, than I was expecting to. I thought it would take a little bit longer to get to this stage, but I mean, here I am talking about it. We could lose the next 6 games or something and be down in the bottom half. So Brooks has picked up an injury. Rashika coming on could change things. Let's bring Gabriel Silva on, and I can keep him as an inverted winger that way. I don't really want to change how we're playing, although Brentford have posed a little bit of a threat here. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Right. So here's Kalulu. Silva, who hasn't kicked on as we wanted to. He's one of that first season boys, I think. But he's still in and around it. He might come good. Matuidi plays him through. He can't get the goal. Forced to save, but a bit of composure there. We need to get that third goal. I don't want to be dropping points here after the performance as well. We've been the better team. Looks like we've taken hold of things again though. I don't know why Aarons is over here. Lucas gets to the byline, back to Garcia, who's helping. Cross evades everyone. Is Campbell on the opposite side? Who was that? Was that Rakic again? He's got a scorcher in his locker. Him. He really has. I didn't expect him to come in and be that sort of player. I thought he was going to be more of a solid sort of side to side defensive player, but he's certainly contributing. Right, there are a few tired legs. Ramos hasn't really been involved, has he? I'm going to bring Adamida on because he's actually, when he's come on, he's looked really dangerous. So it's another good option to give him. And then I think Matuidi on that yellow card. There's no need to risk anything. Lees Mellow's been out with a knock, so happy to bring him on and see him back. Him and Rakic, to be fair, probably going forward might be the two. But Matuidi's been playing well, so nice problem to have. That might be an area to upgrade in the summer. You know, if we've got the money to buy some decent players, is that sort of those two positions, because everyone's great, but there's no one that's like proper step up in quality if we're if we are going to compete in those like European spots. So, but again, getting ahead of myself. Got to beat Brentford first, and they're into our box. Tony, that's really frustrating. I mean, the keeper's got good hands to it, and it's still gone in, which is annoying. But more so that it's 2 each, and it's a team that we've battered, and a team down in 17th. And again, it looks like, guys, that we're heading towards them being that bogey team again, aren't they? Let's yeah. Right, well, let's go for it now. It's annoying, really annoying. Really annoying. We've dominated the game. I mean, it's a couple of headers, isn't it? And it looks like nothing's. We're not even going to make a fist of it. We're just going to surrender those couple of points that we've dropped. Ugh. Well, I was going to title this episode, Breaking the Brentford Hood. That's really long. I definitely wasn't going to title the episode that. But that's it was going to be along those lines of breaking that sort of bogey team. I saw they were down in 17th, not doing well, and thought this is a good one to come back with. We've dropped a load of points against these over the last season or two, and we've done it again. So that's really a really poor result, actually. Let's get through this, and let's see where that leaves us in the table. Right, guys. So we've still moved up a spot. Obviously, Chelsea haven't played yet, so it moves us up above them in 6th. Puts us level with Bournemouth, I suppose, and we've still got a game in hand of that. It just feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity. We could be sort of sat in 5th now, and Chelsea needing to better our goal difference to get above us again. Sat behind sort of 4 far bigger clubs. So that is a shame. Good point for Brentford, I suppose. Anyway, I mentioned the like and subscribing earlier. Hit those buttons if you're enjoying things. I am enjoying the save, despite that disappointing result. I'm going to crack on now, into January, see if there's any business to be done. But to be fair, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount, as I said. So, but there are, busy Christmas period as usual, and a mixed schedule. We don't have really any pockets of games that are super difficult or super easy. Against lower clubs, just drop points against one of those lower clubs. But you know what I mean. So I'm hoping we can sort of keep consistent throughout. We've started well, and despite what the board want of just avoiding relegation and stuff again, I think we have to be looking at these spots, don't we? These sort of Conference League, Europa League. I don't think we have any conference. If you drop out of the Europa League qualifying or something, I don't know. But a European spot. I think that's what we have to be looking at now, don't we? So that's what we're going to go for. I don't think there's anything else to report. So that's that. We'll leave it there. Staff needs work, doesn't it? I'd forgotten about that a little bit. I think that's that. We'll crack on through January, see if there's any business to be done. But otherwise, catch you next time. Take care. Cheers.